By the end of this video, you'll have 3 specific tools to shift your financial mindset. And the last one is the one that actually makes you richer. Not just more optimistic about being rich, measurably wealthier. And here's the thing, that last method, nobody talks about it because it sounds like it should make you poorer. It doesn't. So grab a cup of something warm, settle in, and let's get into it. But first, you need to understand what you're up against. The biggest obstacle between you and a completely different financial life isn't your income. It isn't your education. It's a set of beliefs about money installed in your brain before you turn 10. Phrases your parents said at the dinner table. Arguments you overheard through thin walls. The look on your mom's face when a bill arrived. Those moments wrote the code you're still running, and most people never question it. In 2013, a Harvard economist named Sendil Mullainathan and a Princeton psychologist named Eldar Shafir studied sugarcane farmers in Tamil Nadu, India. Same farmers, same cognitive tests, tested twice a year. Before harvest, when money was tight, those farmers scored 13 IQ points lower than after harvest when their pockets were full. 13 points. That's the difference between average and gifted. Same people, same brains. The only thing that changed was their financial stress. Mullainathan put it bluntly. The poor are not poor because they are less capable. They're poor because poverty itself taxes the mind. The scarcity mindset isn't abstract. It literally shrinks your ability to think. It crowds out long-term planning, creativity, impulse control, every skill you need to build wealth. And every day you stay in that mental trap, it costs you, not someday, right now. Which brings us to the first tool, and you can start using it before this video is over. Robert Kiyosaki nailed one thing in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. His poor dad always said, "I can't afford that." His rich dad said, "How can I afford that?" That's not just grammar. That's neuroscience. One phrase shuts your brain down. The other opens it up to problem solving. Financial psychologist Brad Klontz at Creighton University studied this. He calls them money scripts. Unconscious beliefs about money that drive your behavior. The ones rooted in avoidance, phrases like money is the root of all evil, or I'm just not good with money, those correlated most strongly with lower net worth, regardless of income. So here's what you do. Swap the vocabulary. I can't afford that becomes that's not a priority right now. Rich people are lucky becomes wealthy people made specific decisions I can study. This isn't positive affirmations. This is removing the language that creates learned helplessness. Financial author David Bach worked with a client in Seattle, a 27-year-old named Kim who insisted she had zero money to invest. Bach walked through her daily spending. Coffee, snacks, bottled water. $11 a day. At a 10% return, that $11 a day invested from age 27 would have grown to over $1.5 million by retirement. But here's the part that should make you sit up. Bach ran the numbers for starting at age 37 too. Same $11 a day. Same return. The total? $339,000. The 10-year delay cost her over $600,000. Every year you wait has a price tag, and it's bigger than you think. Now here's where it gets interesting. Changing your words is powerful, but it still relies on you making the right choice every single day. And willpower? Willpower is a terrible wealth building strategy. In 2017, Richard Thaler won the Nobel Prize in economics. One of his biggest contributions was the Save More Tomorrow program, designed with Shlomo Benartzi. The concept was elegant. Employees automatically increased their savings rate each time they got a raise. They never felt the loss. The result? Employees in the program went from saving 3.5% to 13.6% in just 40 months. Employees relying on willpower and good intentions, no significant change at all. James Clear said it best in Atomic Habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. The data backs this up hard. 2023 Vanguard study found that automatic savers contributed on average $1,847 more per year than manual savers with identical incomes. Compounded over 30 years at 7%, that gap becomes $187,000. Every year you delay that one automation decision, you're leaving thousands on the table. Not hypothetical thousands, real ones. Compounding without you. Here's the system. Split your direct deposit automatically. A percentage to checking for spending, a percentage to a high-yield savings account, a percentage to an investment account set to auto-invest on the same date each month. Bills on autopay. You remove the decision entirely. Picture a Tuesday morning. You're brushing your teeth. Your phone buzzes. A notification from your investment app. Another $200 moved over while you slept. You didn't white-knuckle it. You didn't argue with yourself at midnight about whether you could afford it. The scarcity brain never got a vote. The system just did what systems do. A 2023 Federal Reserve study found that middle-income families earning 50 to 80,000 a year who automated their savings had higher net worths by age 50 than families earning over 150,000 who didn't. The system beats the salary every time. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I drop videos like this every week. And seriously, don't go anywhere. The next part is the one that changes everything. All right, this is the one I've been saving for you. What if one of the most reliable predictors of wealth accumulation is giving your money away? Sounds backwards, right? The scarcity mindset says keep everything. Guard it. Hoard it. The data says the opposite. Arthur Brooks, then a professor at Syracuse University, published research in 2006 analyzing financial behavior across income levels. His findings stopped me cold. Families who gave 10% or more of their income to charity consistently reported higher wealth levels 10 years later than similar families who gave nothing, even controlling for starting income. Giving was a better predictor of future wealth than education level, investment habits, or employment sector. And there's neuroscience behind it. A 2006 brain scanning study at the National Institutes of Health, led by Dr. Jorge Moll, found that when people donated to charity, their brains lit up in the mesolimbic pathway, the exact same region activated by food and social bonding, dopamine, oxytocin. Giving literally makes your brain feel wealthy. And when your brain feels wealthy, you stop making fear-based financial decisions. You stop panic buying, stop hoarding, stop self-sabotaging. Every week, you don't break that scarcity loop. It gets deeper. The hoarding gets tighter. The fear gets louder. The decisions get worse. But here's the image I can't get out of my head. It's 1855. Cleveland, Ohio. A 16-year-old boy named John D. Rockefeller is working as a bookkeeper. He earns $1.50 a week. And in his ledger, still preserved at the Rockefeller Archive Center in Sleepy Hollow, New York, he writes 10 cents in the charity column every single week. Before he had anything, he gave. He later said, "I never would have been able to tithe the first $1 million I ever made if I had not tithed my first salary, which was $1.50 per week." He became America's first billionaire. His fortune peaked at roughly $340 billion in today's dollars. He didn't give because he was rich. He was rich, in part, because he gave. That one shift, from hoarding to circulating, rewires your entire relationship with money. You stop operating from fear. You start operating from enough. And enough is where every good financial decision lives. You don't have to give 10% tomorrow. Start with $5 a week to a cause you believe in. Track how it changes the way you feel about money over 30 days. But start now, because right now, today, 57% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. That's a Bankrate 2024 finding. And yet the average household spends nearly $1,500 a month on discretionary items. The money exists. The mindset doesn't. Not yet. And every month that stays true, the gap between where you are and where you could be gets wider. So there you go. 3 tools. Change your financial vocabulary, and you unlock the part of your brain that solves problems instead of surrendering to them. Automate your wealth building, and you take willpower out of the equation entirely. And give, even a little. Because generosity trains your brain to think from abundance instead of fear. That last one alone could be worth more than the first 2 combined. Not because it's magic, because it changes the person making all the other decisions. If this hit different for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe. Because next week, I'm breaking down the exact automation stack, step by step, that turns spare change into serious money.